Welcome to the real journey of the entrepreneur. The journey of any entrepreneur begins with a decision, then writing down your vision, then the execution of that vision. It is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who understand how powerful your mind is and that you can truly create the life that you deserve. It does require a unique formula that includes belief in yourself, a lot of consistency, connecting with an OG, a lot of tears, missing out on a few events and things, and taking a whole lot of risks that will allow you to see your vision and dream come to pass. This journey of the entrepreneur is from the perspective of a wonderful mother, a business owner, whose goal is to break generational barriers and normalize the process of wealth building and financial wellness through entrepreneurship, all while creating a social and give back along the way. I am sharing this journey with you and invite you to share this process with me. Let's do this together. It's my own, but you have to feel comfortable to own it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I will always support you.
Thank you.
Well, hey there, good people. Hey there, good people. I am so excited to have you join us for another episode of The Real Journey of Entrepreneurship. My name is Anita Pierce, and I am the founder and CEO of 11375. We are equally excited to have you join us today, and not just for any old conversation, but as you can see, I look a little different today, don't I? Let me zoom in a little bit for those who are watching the video. And yes, I have zero headaches, no tension headaches. So I want to actually start the conversation by saying it's important that when you have other entrepreneurs and you're seeing what they do, shout them out, give them some love on social media, do a Google review, because all helps in the ecosystem of entrepreneurship. And on that note, let me introduce the guest that I have today on the real journey of the entrepreneurship. And a team of awesomeness, and you're going to discover why. Not because they made me look extra cute today, but the fact that they had the courage to step out and do this thing called entrepreneurship. Founded in 2019, Vontelle is a force to reckon with in making sure that they satisfy the demand for better fitting eyewear, stylish and better fitting, vibrant, fashion forward eyewear. And I want to just say that it's really awesome because this is something that is beneficial to all, helps us to see better, help us to look good, and also to create a style like no other. But I'm sure you don't want to see more of me. Let's bring on the dynamic duo, Tracy Green and Nancey Harris. Hey, good day to you both. I am super excited to have you here. Welcome to the real journey of the entrepreneurship. I have the two co-founders who are behind this amazing look today. Hello.
Hello. We are excited.
Thank you for having us.
So let's get started, right? So Nancey, Tracy, it is so awesome to have you here and welcome to the show. I really want to unpack, just start by, the obvious. How did you get started, in eyewear? Did you have the knowledge to do this? Where did all this come from? And thank you for making me look amazing today.
You look amazing.
Yes.
I'll start off because I lost a pair of glasses. And you know how it hurts when you lose a pair of glasses because we know how expensive they are. And I need my glasses for everything. I've been wearing the glasses since a kid. And I went to look for a replacement pair, and all the glasses looked the same. But most importantly, they all were too tight. I have chubby cheeks, and I always have indentations on my cheeks. Even with the high-end glasses, they still were kind of tight. And then my son needed glasses and they didn't fit his head properly. The temples weren't long enough. The temple meaning the arm. And I was just frustrated. And what do you do when you're frustrated? You call your best friend. So me and Nancey met at Morgan State. So I would call her about everything. I'm upset about this. He made me mad for that. My boss said this. I lost my glasses. You know, you just complain. And Nancey was like, I lost a pair of glasses too. But then Nancey went a step further. I just complained. But then Nancey booked for us to go to Paris. And then now we're sitting in front of you. I don't know how it happened, but that's how.
That's some kind of magic.
Yeah. So like Tracy said, she called to complain. I had lost my glasses. And I remember this day as clear as ever. We were sitting in the car and she said, I looked in my purse. I traced my steps. I went back into the house. I couldn't find them. She was really upset about the loss of these glasses. And I remember them. And she had just gotten them like maybe that February. And here we were talking about this in June. So I was like, you know what? I lost my glasses. I thought they were pretty dope. But in addition to them not fitting, the only thing about them that was really dope was the shape. And I really liked that shape. And I was like, but what if we do some glasses that had some flair to it, that had some culture? And in the car, we started going online. We were looking on our phones to see glasses that had African print, any type of print. We were looking for African, Latin, Indian, Asian. We were looking for beautiful prints. We came across glasses that had prints, but they were cloth. They had cloth wrapped around them. So you could not put your prescription in the glasses. Now, what are glasses if you can't work with the fashion, the function, and the fit? So now you got glasses that look great, but they still don't fit, and you can't put your prescription in it. So we were like, there's got to be a way to do this. Tracy kept going to work. I had gotten laid off that May from I was working for a foundation. And I was like, well, I don't know that I really want to go back into the workforce at this point. So I had some time. I had some money. So took the time to actually start looking and doing the research behind it. And every time I got something, I would send it to Tracy. She probably thought I was crazy. But that day in September, it was the first week of September, because we had just gotten back from vacation 2 weeks earlier from Tracy and I. And I was online and I came across the website showing that there was this International Eyewear Expo taking place in Paris, France at the end of September. So I knew that I didn't have a lot of time. So I booked the tickets. And then I called Tracy and I said, I booked tickets for us to go to Paris. We just got back from vacation. And I was like, but you are the CFO. You have time. Take your PTO, use it. Because we don't do that, right? We're like the only people that feel like we have to go to work every single day. We can't take a break. And I was like, use your time. I said, you only need to take off Friday and that Monday. We're going to leave Thursday night. So that's what we did. And like Tracy said, the rest is history. So that's the backstory behind what you see for Vontelle today. And her name being Vontelle, being French, was like a no-brainer for the name of the company, which means to go, there she goes, or to go in the masculine. So we were like, this is great, because that's what we did. There she goes. We went and we did that.
And we want you to have to-go style when you wear our glasses. So.
Right.
And
once you're in Paris and you see all the brands with Italian and French names, I'm like, hey, I already have a French name. Let's use it. And I think walking the show in Paris, there's like over 30,000 people in attendance there. And we didn't see anybody that looked like us that make and design eyewear. And that was our aha moment that, you know, if not us, then who? We have to do this. And we just took it step by step. I think, you know, for all the entrepreneurs out there, and I loved your opening that we saw on your show, that your goal is to kind of help entrepreneurs understand the process. We just did a step at a time. We first booked the trip. Then we met manufacturers. Then we said, well, let's see if we can get designs. Then we got our name trademarked. Like we did everything step by step. just to see if we can do it. We kept saying, let's see if we can do it. Let's see. And our let's see is, like I said, let us here 4 years. We're now in America's best 900 stores. Can we talk about that?
We are going to
Yes.
talk about that. We are going to talk about that because I think that this is such a beautiful tale of finding a solution to a problem that you didn't really know that we had, but now it's here and you're solving the problem. And so one of the things that I want to talk about at the grassroots level, okay, there we change it. I love the change. I love the change. See, I ain't got to change, but those are dope too. So one of the things that I want to talk about foundationally, right? So, you took this time to start a process, to start something, right? What did money look like? Because a lot of times we don't often want to talk about like, when we're starting, did you have like a whole boatload of money to start this thing? Or was it like what? Did you take money out of just like, what did you do with that? How'd you start that?
We took money from savings. So both Tracy and I have been fortunate enough to be in corporate positions where we had savings. In addition to that, Tracy has her own thing going. She has side businesses. I've always had side businesses. So we were able to not have to take out a loan immediately. And that was extremely helpful. We didn't have to go to friends and family to say, hey, can you help us do this? We did everything. We bootstrapped everything on our own. A bit crazy with the way we did it, but we're here today and we've not had to reinvest any of that money. So it's been pretty successful.
Yes. Not reinvest any more of our own money, rather.
Of our own money, correct.
Yes. So, and I think, luckily, if like Nancey said, a lot of things happen at serendipitously, how you say, like things were just happening at the right time. So we went to Paris. I was still working, but then COVID hits, and then the world just changes, right? So then we go in and say, right, we're going to use our savings. We're going to try this, but then we're all working at home. So having that time to be home was great. Then I got sick, and then I took a year off because my health was really bad, and my husband was like, the doctor was telling me if I catch COVID, I could die, right? And once you hear that you can die, I have a rare form of diabetes. I have type 1 and type 2. No one in my family has it. It's crazy. But I got really ill at the end of 2019, and then COVID hits, and then I said, you know what? I'm taking off. And that year that I took off, and me and Nancey are both home because of COVID. She laid off. I basically retired early, and we are focusing only on the business. And in that year alone, we got Nickelodeon partnership. We got Saks Fifth Avenue. We were able to put all the energies that we put into our daytime work for our own business. And once we realized that, wait a minute, we could do the same work for ourselves, it was a no-brainer. So, and then like you said, we every dollar that we made, from the revenues, we put right back into the company. And we did every part. We do every part of the business. Now we're a team of 5, but at the beginning we were customer service. We were shipping. We were the sales team.
Finance, sales, everything.
Social
media. The models. We were the models.
Two of us, we were doing every part of the job. So having money is a big issue because we wouldn't be able to make the glasses without the money. So thank God for those savings and our husbands who support us. And, we need insurance, we need all these things. So us quitting our jobs and being home, that was important. But we had a mission, and we was like, we can really do this. And COVID, what was the other option? That we die and we don't try? So you saw that. And then George Floyd happened. And once George Floyd happened, then we had a lot of companies who wanted to invest in Black-owned businesses. And that's how we got Nickelodeon and Saks. So things happened at the right time. I mean, of course, George Floyd was a horrible incident, but that incident made everybody wake up and say, hey, can we support Black brands? And we were one of the brands that got supported because of that horrible incident. So, met the right people, met some mentors, like you said in your opening. You need an OG to help you. And we did find a great mentor who also wanted to give back. And his eyewear business has been in the business for 75 years. and he took us under his wing, and it started out with one meeting, and then it became a monthly meeting. And that has helped us a lot as well, in terms of how to navigate. So definitely every entrepreneur, try to find a mentor, because that will help you jump a lot of hurdles, right? And obstacles. We still have obstacles and hurdles, but by having his company mentor us monthly, we kind of jumped a lot.
So may I follow up with some of the things that you mentioned, Tracy, about mentioned a lot, but I'm going to focus in on trying, right? And also failing, because a lot of times there were some challenges through the process of you getting those successes, but also having a support system at home. I heard that both of you are moms, and so having that as another comma and specifically for Black women, like it's just a thing. We do it what we're supposed to do, and we make it look really well. We do dope things as Black women. Like to say that as a shout out, but it's still, we have to have those type of conversations with our significant others to ensure that they are on board, or maybe not. And then, what I also heard you mention is your OG or mentor that provided you with a platform to get into, certain spaces or to have conversations. Now, what I want to also add is because if you look on your social platform, you're on all over the place, right? My timeline is hot with Vontelle, hot right now. And I'm still trying to figure out how, but I guess, the algorithm, but it's working, right? But what I want to describe is some of these other underlying things, because, you are Black founders, right? So what does that look like in this space, the luxury eyewear space for Black women business owners? Who wants to start with that?
It's a challenging space. It is not a space that was meant or built for us to even come into, other than to purchase and be happy with the eyewear that is available to us. And Tracy and I went, when we were in Paris, one of the key things that we recognized was that there was no representation. 37,000 people on that floor, give or take 20 of us were there. Tracy and I are 2, take away from that 20, there's 18. Those individuals were there to purchase eyewear, but not to make eyewear. So the average temple, the width of the bridge, the size of the glasses and the lenses, those are all made for people with narrow features, not made for multi-ethnic fit. And so there was, and there is still, very little diversity of thought that is in this industry. And without diversity of thought, diversity of representation does not happen. You have to. It requires different point of views, different life experiences, working together in collaboration to bring forth an effort like this. Thinking of the fact that as Black people, that's how we are born. We live in that world. They never have to touch our world. So they don't think about us. We are an afterthought, a second thought, or never a thought. And I say that never a thought because Tracy brought up when she got her iPhone, she couldn't even do the facial recognition back in 2015 because they did not include us in those studies. You and I, Anita, sat in a class and we saw that the hand washing didn't work. The faucet doesn't turn on, or the machine blower doesn't work because the complexion doesn't pick up. We are not a thought in these studies. So if you do a case study and we are not in the room, this is what happens. You get incorrect commercials where they think it's okay to do a commercial with a woman who goes from Black to white, and then you say, Dove, this is how you get clean. These are the things that happen in those rooms. You think it's okay to make a mask with black lips, white face, or black face, because we're not in the room to say that's not okay. That's unacceptable. So it's unacceptable to have eyewear that doesn't fit us, and nobody all these years don't care. And now people are starting to follow behind it, right. But it's not authentic and it's not genuine. You're doing it because you saw someone else do it first, and right. That's okay. But it really, what we're doing, it comes from the heart because it was a necessity. It was an absolute necessity. So I'll let Tracy pick up from here, but it is a challenge to be in this industry. It was not meant for us to come in and kick down the doors the way we are trying to do. We are the Davids, they are the Goliaths, and we have an uphill battle, but we're going to get that stone and we're going to figure it out how to knock this ball out the park. That's it.
Well said. Nancey, she's deep. Yeah, I mean, I think we are, I don't know if people out there know that eyewear is made by maybe one or two or maybe four big companies. So every name brand, is really made by one or four brands, right? So it can say, Gucci, Prada, Chanel, whatever, but one house makes those glasses. And then they own the insurance, and they own the Pearl Visions and the Lens Crafters. They own space in Target and Macy's and stuff like that. So that means we cannot sell. They have exclusive rights in those stores. So when you are a new Black entrepreneur in any space, you have to know who your competitors are. And on top of that, they have a 400-year start. So they have exclusive rights in everything. So, and everything we use today, not just glasses, from your hair care products, from your clothing, to your comb and brush, to your computers, to everything that we use is created and designed by someone. And that person has a monopoly in most cases on a lot of things. So for us to now come in 400 years later and say, well, we want representation for ourselves, right? We want things to fit us and work for us, right? And we're doing that in a lot of spaces, but it's still difficult when they own the landscape. So for us, we have to find other ways, right? We have to find vendors who don't have exclusive rights. So we were lucky to find that Saks didn't have exclusive right. We were able to find other brands, local eye doctors. We call them and say, hey, don't you want to carry this brand? Don't you have African-American, Hispanic, customers or customers with larger features? And they go, yes, you need our brand. So we have to really sell ourselves. So we tell entrepreneurs, you have to get out there. I mean, we're exhausted. We have to call, we have to show up. And we had to do a flight to Wisconsin just to meet with one of our reps because they wanted to see the glasses in person. Me and Nancey were like, oh my God, because COVID spoiled us, right? We was home doing everything via Zoom. But now we realized you got to hustle. You got to work that beat. You got to fly out to your customer. And once they saw the products and touched them, they were like, there's a lot of people eating cheese and beer in Wisconsin. They needed our glasses, right? All colors, not just Black people, white, everybody.
Yeah, right.
So once they saw the products that we had, they were like, great. But, other companies might say, I really don't want to do that flight. That's money I got to spend. But they order from us every month in Wisconsin. We have people order from us in Colorado, in Minnesota. So you have to, for all the entrepreneurs listening, you got to take those steps. I know it's costly sometimes and it's painful, but once you let them see and touch your product and they understand who it's for, you sell yourself the best. You have to get out there because otherwise the Goliaths, as Nancey said, will take over. And again, they have a 400-year start. There's no way we can beat them, right? But what we have to do is say, you're not servicing our clientele, and this is why, right? And so many people have indentations on their cheeks, indentations on their nose. They wear the rubber bands because it's too tight. And why? Because they're not thinking about us. So that works in our favor. They're not thinking about us. So we are. And like I said, I've been wearing glasses since I was a teenager. They should not hurt. I have my son who plays basketball, his friends that play football, they have bigger shaped heads. Glasses do not fit them. Most men would rather squint and not wear glasses just because they don't fit them.
So
now we're here for you.
Yeah, as you're talking, I'm sharing the website at Vontelle.com, and there's some really phenomenal frames that are there, eye-catching. But like I mentioned, I have these glasses on, and I usually wear other glasses, and the fact that I don't have a tension headache, I didn't even realize that I was having a tension headache and it was coming from my glasses. Nancey mentioned this while we were in class, and I'm like, oh, that's what that is. And so I am constantly like taking my glasses off on to try to relieve the pressure, not really understanding that I thought it was stress, but it's really the pressure and not, I guess, not being
The
properly
stress of wearing those glasses.
glasses, right? And so you don't know what you don't know until you meet someone who has the experience in the spaces. But um describe, you know, if you can share some of the things without sharing all of your trade secrets. You know, there's vision behind these glasses. There's things that are happening with these glasses. But the fact that it's comforting. Did you know that you needed comfort, or did it come out of pain? I know you lost glasses, but was it the pain that was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this as well? Because I'm that's another
Definitely.
curious
Yeah.
question.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I said early on, the glasses that when I went to look for replacements for those that I lost, everything was too tight. They were pressing on my cheeks. And that's why I was so upset and complained to Nancey. Not only did I lost them, but all the glasses were too tight. I'm like, is everyone making glasses for only small people? We have different shaped faces. So that was really the catalyst. And then like Nancey added, like, well, why can't we make them cultural and beautiful too? So the collaboration of the size and then, like doing beautiful colors, like we just did a nice collaboration with 50 of Hip Hop, and you can actually see the graffiti on these glasses. I mean, we wanted to represent our culture, and it was important to do both.
And to Tracy's point, I looked at my mom because I never realized that the glasses, see, I only need glasses for distance. So I don't wear mine all day. So I would not get headaches because I'd only wear them when I drove or when I needed to see something far, when we're in class, something like that. But then I looked at my mom, who does need them all day. And she has these 2 permanent indentations here in the center of her nose. And there's no cure for that at this point at 80 years old. How do you remove marks that were caused from 40 years of wearing? They're there. They're not going anywhere. I don't care if she uses blemish cream. She can scrub as much as she wants. That is there for the rest of her life. So that really bothered me because when Tracy brought up that point, I was like, oh, wow, didn't realize it, that the glasses were too short. I did realize about the bridge, but again, because I only wore them temporarily, the pinch was, temporary. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm going to take them off shortly, not realizing it. But it bothered me. And I said, wow, we have to make some adjustments here. We have to fix this. And we know that invention comes from necessity.
Definitely. And you have to realize that, and now that we're in this business and part of the things that when we first started, we only wanted to do glasses. And then we gave my mom a pair, and her prescription to put in cost $500 just for the prescription. And I said, our community cannot afford this. This is crazy. And me and Nancey, and I worked in healthcare. So we scoured and we found a lab to do more affordable prescriptions, because that's another reason why you get upset. Not only that you lost your glasses, but you spent so much money on a prescription and then now you lost it. So we're able to do progressives at $110 and single vision at $85. And again, that was important for me because, again, it's a medical necessity. I need my glasses to see. If I take these off, I won't be able to see you. So it's important that we also added the prescription aspect. And again, finding, scouring, trying to find somebody to work with us at affordable prices, so you don't have to mark it up so much that that you're charging someone $500 just for medicine that they need to see in their eyes. That's what it is. It's medicine. They don't treat eyewear and dental the same way they treat every other disease, like diabetes and stuff like that. But we got to work harder to make sure that eyewear is treated the same because it's a medical necessity.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of work, and to talk about the pitfalls, the first designs that we got, they look horrible. I cried. I said to Nancey, forget it, we're not doing it. Because we know we wanted the patterns on the glasses and we wanted to look a certain way, but and then we had a couple manufacturers. And just for entrepreneurs, don't give up, because we had we started out with 10 manufacturers. Half of them didn't believe us, I think, because we were Black and women. The other ones didn't really understand what we wanted to do, because we were the first ones to really put patterns the way we put our African patterns on glasses. And then when we got down to the top 2 or 3, one was trying to overcharge us. And we was like, that's not the right price. You're overcharging for no reason. So one manufacturer, I mean, we didn't like it. It looked horrible. And Nancey was like, go back, do it again. And by the second round, he got it. But originally I was ready to stop. I didn't even want to keep going. I was like, we can't do it. So it is trial and error. You gotta just keep pushing.
Yeah.
So let's dig into that, right? We're in New York. Let's talk about this weather that can have like severe impact on our motivation, right? You're in America's Best right now. Congratulations, right? That is not anything to take lightly. And I want to say this. How do you, besides talking to each other, continue to keep the fire going when at the time somebody's, the design isn't working up and Tracy's like, I want to give up. Nancey's like, no, keep going. We're going to make this happen. Like, how do you really manage through that? That's a very, real thing that, you're not making $1 million just because you do, campaigns on social media. Not yet. I mean, unless it's something you're not telling us.
Yeah. We're waiting for that formula too. But Tracy sat here. We got those. We opened up the box. We were so excited. And she sees the designs, and we're crazy because I don't know who goes out and says we're going to do 37 designs. We do 37 pairs of glasses. Out of the 37, well, actually, we only got about 4 of the prototypes up front. And one manufacturer made them a little clearer than the other, but he was the higher priced one. And then the third one just was unresponsive. So that's how they fell off, because they just were not responding to us. One week they would, the next they weren't. And we were like, okay, they're already showing us what they're going to do with us as clients. So that one who didn't make them as clear, we got on a call with him. We were on that call at like midnight because of the time difference. And we were like, this is what we need. And I told Tracy, because she had tears in her eyes. Like, I was like, Tracy, it's going to be okay. We're going to make this work. Because to me, I saw the potential. I saw the potential, and the communication was great. He was really trying. And he came back and he sent us the acetate, and he said, these are the ones. And we said, okay, this is the one that you should work with. This is crisp. We like it. Please come back and do that. And he said, give me another 30 days, because they're handcrafted. You got to realize that these are not plastic. Our glasses are made with high quality acetate material. So they don't deteriorate. They don't peel, crack, all that stuff. They may get scratched because if you drop them, that's what happens. Okay. But they can be bended to shape to your face, things like that. And he said, I can do it. And I believed that he could do it. And then that second one, like Tracy said, when he sent it back to us, it was on the money. And then we were able to pull the lever and say, go. We had each other, and Tracy's she doesn't give up that easily, but she was mad. And so she needed to sleep on it. And so after the conversation with the manufacturer, I believe she felt better. My husband, he was in on this from day one. And when he saw even the ones that didn't look that great, he was like, you know what? These are going to be dope when you guys get this done right. He was gung-ho because we took from his collection. He had like 40 pair of glasses. that were all designers from, I'm not going to go into all the name brands, but all the top name brands that you can think of. He had the cases, he had everything, the cleaning cloth. So we knew what presentation should look like. And we wanted that presentation to even up the ante on that.
Right.
So we had people around us, including Tracy's husband, who all rallied behind this idea of what we were going to do. So her tears just for that moment were temporary. I've been with Tracy for over 30 years as friends. I know how she is. And then the next day she's right back to being the boss bitch that she is.
Right.
And she's like, I'm going to make this happen. So I was like, we're not going to give this up. You know, this is going to be great. Nobody else is doing it. So let's do this, you know? And that's how we continued on this journey. We have each other, but more importantly, we have family that believe in everything that we're doing. Like she said from the beginning, our husbands, they are relentless in helping us, down to husbands wanting to stalk people to wear our glasses. You know, like they email people.
That's Nancey's husband.
No, seriously. My husband, he gets on. We were on another Sirius XM talk show yesterday evening. And that was because my husband kept reaching out to this person and was like, you need to have my wife on your show. This is him. You know, he reached out to a newscaster. She was supposed to be in our glasses as well. She took long to get back to us, but he finally got through to her and she was like, oh, here's my prescription. We were like, okay. So we have people that believe in
the networking is key, definitely. Yeah. And we're lucky enough that we've been in business long enough in our own careers where we made a lot of connections. Yeah. And those connections has also helped us. And so our husbands, but of course our family and friends, and then just calling people. I mean, people ask us all the time, how do you guys get in all these magazines and all this press? And we were doing this on our own without a PR team.
Right.
Like we got Essence, we got Forbes, we got Black Enterprise. I mean, we got a lot of things. And basically we just call people we know, like, hey, we're doing this. Can you help us? And people are like, you know what? This is different. Let me see what I can do. Everybody will try their best to help us. And that's, again, a testament to our relationships with these people, even before this happened. I was just telling Nancey yesterday, I can call anybody in my circle and they will try to help in any way possible. Because I've always had a great relationship. I keep in touch with people via social or whatever, text groups and stuff. How are you? How are the kids? So networking is a key for entrepreneurship. It's helping you get to the next level because everyone knows somebody who knows somebody. We're all 6 degrees of separation, right? We know Anita because Nancey knows Anita, right? So we can say, Anita, we need to be on a podcast, right? So somebody always knows someone. And then what happens is you just, great relationships, great feedback. You assist them if they need help and vice versa. And I think you have to remember that because, we all have a network of people who work for different places. And we just say, hey, can you just post a picture in the glasses? Can you get these to this person? I mean, we have a pair of glasses that when you watch Abbott Elementary next week, the principal Ava will be wearing these glasses, Sahara Addicts. And again, that's through a network. So you have to say, hey, you know someone who works on the show. We need to get our glasses on that show. February 7th, these will be on Albert Elementary.
So I have a couple of follow-up questions about the power of the ask in your network, right? So something that you said, Tracy, that, you could pick up the phone and you could pretty much call folks within your network. So I'm going to ask you a question. What does that look like if you haven't talked to someone in like 5 years? Like literally talk to someone and you're like, you have to think through or make a list of those that or you forgot about, not necessarily forgot about, but just haven't been as active. Like, what does that conversation look like? Like, hey, I haven't, seen someone since like high school, but you're connected to them on social media as an example.
Bingo. So that's the key. So I think, before the business, I would post maybe once every month or once every quarter. I never post myself, but I would, like all my friends and people I haven't seen and talked to. So I was always hey girl, congrats. So this looks
Right.
great. Happy birthday. Facebook does a great job at telling you when everybody's birthday is, right?
Oh,
So I don't
yep.
have to physically talk to you, but I was engaging with you in theory through the social media, right? So that call goes, if I'm going to text them or Facebook them or DM them or whatever the terminology, hey girl, hey guy, I need your help. And I know you can help me. Please let me know. Do you want to do a call or should I text you? Immediately, what do you need? Anything you need, let me know. Call me here or email me here. And I would just send the email. Say, this is because people always want to help. And when you ask someone for their help and you give them props, hey, I know you're the guru. You're my man. You're my girl. I know you know these people. How can you help me? I need help. And that's how it goes. And I just start with that. And again, my relationship with these people was always, I'm always bubbly and fun and I'm always good, right? So I never was a negative person ever, really. So I always had a great relationship. You know, you'll be my best friend forever. And then I'll email you one day, like, Anita, I need help. You're the best. I know you know these people. That makes you feel good and people want to help. And then before you know it, they're like, I got you. And
you know what? That does
it.
work. That's what it does.
You gotta make
I like
people
think
feel
about it, I'm
good.
like, yeah, it does. It does.
It works.
does.
And it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be you talk to them every day. It can be 5 years.
Right.
You know, you ask about their kids. I see, oh my God, your kids are growing so big. They look great. I need your help. And, you know, but it works vice versa. I mean, I have people reach out to me all the time for jobs, for things. Hey, my daughter's looking, she just graduated. I got you. You know, I'll send it to my network. Don't worry about it. So it works both ways, right? You can't not be there for people when they ask for help because you know one day you're going to need help. It's pay it forward. It might not be the exact same person, but you need to be reciprocating all the time. And I do that 24/7. I take even if it takes 5 minutes, I will say, hey, text me. I'll reach out to my friends. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll try to help. And that's all you want. And I think when you do that, people do it for you. It just works.
Wow. So
It also helps to be genuine, which we both are. Because, you know, if you're an opportunistic person, those things won't work because they'll see right through it. And I think that's key.
So in other words, entrepreneurs, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish.
Do
Be
not.
willing to provide, you know, and just think about long-term relationship. Unless you're selling your business the next day, just think about what it looks like in the long term for you. You never know when you will need or when you'll be needed in this space, specifically in business. It is so different when you work for yourself and you're creating something. It is so different. I think I spend probably about, well, after our class, Nancey, at least 2 hours a day, you know, either doing emails or doing some sort of 15-minute virtual meeting or in person when I can, because those relationships and keep maintaining them is really critical. You don't really understand until you, I understand it, but you understand it more when as you're in business with yourself. So,
I do want to say this for the holidays, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, birthdays. Every year I have about 120 people that I keep in rotation that I say happy birthday, happy Father's Day, happy Mother's Day, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. So those are things, and these are people that they're in my circle, whether I've actually seen them or not for the last 5, 10 year, whatever it is, that they're constantly in rotation. So I generally don't feel too bad if I need to ask for assistance from those individuals because I've reached out to them at least once in the past, few months or something like that. Now, there may be someone every now and again that I haven't spoken to in 5 years, but even then, I look on my LinkedIn posts and I realize that I did reach out to them and say, congratulations on your new position or whatever it is. So, you know, it's really like Tracy said, your network is your net worth. Keep that in mind.
See, amen to that. Amen to that. So, social impact. Social impact. I heard that there is an intentional focus on keeping the cost of medicine within your glasses affordable. What other things are you all engaged in?
So many.
Yeah.
Because I was in
When?
healthcare for so long, I worked at a lot of your New York City hospitals, and a lot of families go into shelters. And one of the first things they lose is their eyewear and or their dentures, their teeth.
Mm.
So we partnered with WIN. It's called Women in Need. They have over 14 shelters in New York City, and we get glasses donated to us from other companies. We reach out to people, and we reached out to local optometrists to do the eye exams. And these people get free glasses for themselves, for their family, husbands, wives, kids in the shelters. And we've done a couple shelters so far, Brooklyn, Manhattan. We waited Queens. We're trying to get to some more, and we get requests. We just get emails like, hey, this person needs glasses. She's in our shelter system. How can you help? And we do it. So it's important because, again, it's a medical necessity. And, kids can't do good in school. Imagine you're in a shelter and you still have to go to school. So you have that to deal with, but then you can't even see the board. So how do you even do your homework? So that's one thing that we're definitely a part of. And I think we have a couple other relationships. I know Nancey with Black Eye Care Perspectives and the National Optometry
Association. And we also work with SUNY Optometry, where we're on their advisory board to help them get more African American students to go into the field of optometry, because there's only 3% of Black optometrists in the US. There's 7% that are Latin and about almost 20% that are Asian. So as far as minorities, Asians lead in that environment. And for African Americans, it's so low. So that's why you don't see enough Black optometrists. We have a list of running Black optometrists throughout the country, and it's not even like 3,000. That's a small number. And we still make up 14% of the US population. And that 14% is over 40 million. Out of 40 million, you only have 3,000 Black optometrists. That's a really low number. I mean, and there's more. It's probably about 30,000, but there's a running list of 3,000 that make themselves known, that are part of the National Optometric Association. So it's just not high enough. We're just not making a grand splash as far as present. So we're trying to make a change with that and making these young students know that there's a great career, because the average starting salary is over 100,000. And if you're really good, you can make up to 750,000. And that's from selling great frames like ours, and having, being in the right community and knowing how to work your network.
Practice. You have your own practice.
You have your own practice.
We give a percentage of proceeds to the NOA when their doctors buy our glasses, so they can help with tests for those. So African Americans can pass passing the test is tough, and it costs money to every time.
$1,200.
So they buy our glasses. We give a percentage of the proceeds back to them, and they use that money to fund the test price for those African Americans who need money to take the test to become optometrists.
Yeah.
So and we've been linking them with HBCUs. We went to Morgan State, so we have SUNY working with Morgan State first, and then hopefully we'll add in more HBCUs. And if you have a math or science or degree that you're taking, you can actually become an optometrist. But if you don't see it, you can't be it, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know that this is an opportunity. Even in the colleges, we didn't have an optometry class when we was in college, right? Maybe we would have became optometrists. So it's just letting those people who are majoring in those science fields, engineering, math, science, that this is another opportunity where you can make your own, you can have your own practice. And we need more people who look like us who are optometrists.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, beautiful people.
That's our social impact. That's it.
Wow. So I don't want to let you go. right? But I know that because I feel like right now I'm on my living room couch and we're just having just a healthy conversation about business and also fashion, right? Let's talk about that. And also, really figuring out how to make impact, as business owners. But before we depart in this space, tips, right? Just tips. Like, first thing I'm thinking of, where can we find you? That's easy. I can do that. Vontelle.com. That's easy for me. The second thing is, like, what are some of the realistic tips, right? So you're both in business. You work as partners. What do we do with that? What are some tips? These entrepreneurs want to hear more about Vontelle. Come on. Do tell.
Yeah. Always learn. Always try. Well, one, try to find yourself a good mentor and sponsor. And we have that person. We've moved from him being a mentor to now him being our sponsor, because he is partially responsible for us getting the America's Best deal. He introduced us to the team. We did the work, but he was the bridge to help make that happen for us. So that's one thing. Tracy will tell you tips on your finances, which is going to be very key. We already said, make sure that you network, make sure that you're out there, join chambers of commerce, try to, get out there as far as resources and joining different accelerators. Even if they're not giving you money, you should apply for the grants. But even if they're not giving you money and they align with what it is that your goals and vision are, become a part of that, because that group is going to become your resource. So that things that you don't understand in business, there's always someone in there that has been through it that can help you get through that. So those are really key. Networking, finding a mentor / sponsor. And now I'll turn it over to Tracy, who's going to give you some other key tips. Tracy.
So I'm always going to say you got to get an attorney. I know it's expensive, but you don't want to sign the wrong deal, because that can take your business out. You can, all that hard work can go in a poof. So I would say first, get yourself an attorney, a really good attorney. Definitely have a business plan. Me and Nancey wrote our business plan early on. We had our financials together. We did all our research. Do your research. How much does it cost? What's the cost? What's the manufacturer cost? What's the shipping cost? It's so many things that you have to put in your business plan. So you want to make sure you lay that out. That's important, because you have a realistic view. Because, we all wanted to break the internet the first day and make our millions, but it hasn't happened, right? It takes a while to do it. And the internet is vast, and there's so many products on there and so much information. So how do you get the word out, right? Marketing, right? It's expensive. And everybody's going to come to you and say they can do your ads for you, and it's going to cost this much. We started early with a company who said they could do everything for us. We learned early on that they couldn't, and be able to fire people quickly. So that's nothing that we've done very well. We make assessments, and we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to hire people, but they're not right for the brand, or they can't do what they said they were going to do. We let them go, and that's okay. Don't be embarrassed, this is business. There's no crying. I'll cry, but there's no crying in business. Your money comes first, right? So you have to be swift and fast and letting people go. So those are my tips. Attorneys, do your business plan, lay out all the costs, do your research. And, when you hire someone, really have deliverables for that person. And when they can't deliver, or they haven't delivered, and it might not be their fault. They might not be a bad person. It's just that it's not the right fit, or they don't have the expertise that they said they have. You let them go, and it's okay. And you move on till you get the next person. So that's important, because I think we keep people way too long. And I might be going personal, even in, spouses and partners and stuff. Let them go. You don't need the dead weight. When you wake up and realize this person is not helping me, let them go. It's okay. You'll find somebody else that's better.
Yeah.
A lot said in that one. That was a little bit extra.
It was perfect. Follow the GPS, because usually it doesn't take you to the wrong place. So as we are done with this conversation, but not far from my heart, I want to say a super grateful thank you for you taking time out of your schedule to support another entrepreneur. This is, something that I really appreciate, learning from, your gifts and your talents and also the challenges that you have. It's really a learning experience. And when you can close the gap by you sharing your story, your woes, your positive wins, it helps us all. And for those who are watching this on video format, you should check it out on YouTube when it's posted. You will notice that Tracy and Nancey were changing in a number of their glasses. And I tell you, seeing them in person is you get really exciting. I saw the 50th year. Is that a part of the 50th? Yeah.
Yes,
Oh
that's
yeah.
50.
It says
See?
hip hop on the side. How
Oh
dope
my
is
goodness. Let me put that up. Vontelle.com. Vontelle.com.
that? These say hip hop on the side. How dope is
Yeah,
that?
they're beautiful glasses.
See,
They're absolutely stunning.
And you can
And we
tint
should
them.
note,
You can do
right,
anything
you
you
could
want
put
with them.
whatever prescription you want in them. We, like Tracy said earlier, we do single vision, we do progressives, we do blue
Readers.
light readers. So just definitely come and check them out. And we're very reasonable, very reasonable.
They are. And so before I
Oh,
let
and we
you
take FSA and HSA. Sorry,
FS
FSA
and
and HSA.
okay, awesome.
That's flexible spending.
And don't
A
leave
lot
it
of
on the
companies.
table. A lot of
Yes.
companies have it. Don't leave it on the table, especially when
Don't
you
leave
Yeah.
it on the table. You don't use it, you lose it.
That's right. See, look at this. So get the video, look us up on YouTube, and you'll see what I'm talking about. They are really, but also check out Vontelle.com. But as we wrap up the show, I got these are one words. And I feel like I'm gonna bring it back home. Because we from New York. I'm from New York. But what's your favorite borough?
Brooklyn.
I'm gonna say Queens.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
I was born in Harlem, but I grew up in Queens. I love Queens.
Okay. Queens in Brooklyn. We back in the building, but Brooklyn is back. What do you do for self-care as a human? I can't even say as a business owner, as a human. What do you do for self-care?
I work out.
I used to work out frequently. I have not in the last year, and it shows. So I'm going back to my regimen of working out. I said I was going to start that on Monday consistently.
That's fair. Pizza or burgers?
Pizza. I love pizza. I can't eat it now. I have diabetes, but I will sniff it really hard.
Okay. Nancey?
For me, I would go with a turkey burger.
That's fair. That's fair.
Turkey burger.
Do you have a preference of heels or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Wait a minute. Wait. That was perfect. And unexpectedly beautiful. Sneakers. Yeah, we're not doing those heels no more.
Yeah. Pandemic messed that up.
No. Well, I bring them out every now and then, but it doesn't work. So we are wearing fashionably beautiful flats. Yeah. And my kid is in the heels though. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. In 3 years, Vontelle, what would it look like for both you, Tracy, and Nancey? What would it look like for you?
$1 million company.
Multi-million-dollar company with retail chains.
And other accessories. Bags, perfume. I think Vontelle can be a big brand. I think we can do anything we want to do.
We believe and know that it will do big things. Because I'm going to speak that into fruition. I'm not going to think it, but I'm going to know it.
And I receive that and going to support it and going to share it and going to love on it because, look at this. Vontelle, y'all, Vontelle in the building, Tracy, Nancey. I am super happy to have you both join us and want to just share these fabulous tips. Always learn, have a good mentor and a sponsor. Networking is important. Join a business accelerator. That's how I met Nancey. Get an attorney, have a business plan, conduct market research, and ensure that you understand and conduct a lot of marketing. Also, I love it. Fire quickly. Don't let it linger. Vontelle.com. I appreciate you both. Thank you so much for joining the show today. Stay tuned. Vontelle.com. 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 Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
And so there you have it, friends. I'm going to, for those who are watching this in video, I am going to share this specific website, Vontelle.com. And I want to just tell you that it is, again, equally important when you see members of the entrepreneurial group doing something, doing great things. Know that you can just support them, share, shout out, do Google, whatever you need to do to help to support, just like we do other brands and we spend in other spaces. So support is equally critical. So I want to also, Nancey mentioned about chambers of commerce. There are so many chambers, upstate, downstate, Queens, Brooklyn, Manhattan and Brooklyn, Hispanic Chamber, upstate New York Black Chamber, U.S. Black Chamber at the national level. Please, consider as you are thinking about ways to connect and network with folks. The online process is equally important, but definitely thinking through what that could look like for your next level of success. And so, yes, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are at 11375.com. If you need to reach out to us, our information is scrolling. We are on the social platforms at 11375.com. We'd love to have you like, share, follow us, or reach out to us for some of our services. And guess what, folks? That is it for today. Thank you so much for joining The Real Journey of Entrepreneurship. My name is Anita Pierce, signing out. Bye-bye.
This week I have been dealing with the role that I play as a leader, manager, business owner. And something that came up frequently, specifically this week, deals with the fact of how we treat the people that partner or choose to work with our business. And every day there is always a choice to uplift or a choice to bring down. And that choice is daily. Do I minimize the people that are helping to grow my vision, my dream, or do I provide a space where we are growing and developing together? It's not easy. Every day is a choice. Welcome to 11375. My name is Anita Pierce, and I am your Chief Experience Officer. At 11375, we offer strategic alignment solutions specific to you and your business goals, and also connecting everything with social impact. So if you are looking for a really amazing organization where we help you to focus your strategy and connecting it with social impact, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are on all the social platforms, and you can contact us at 11375.